Welcome to the show. My guest tonight, Devin Cooper.
How you doing?
Good. Thanks for coming.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So for people who don't know you, can you tell everyone who you are, what you do, and what you're here for?
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Devin Cooper, country rock artist, originally from a small town called Innisfail, Alberta, about an hour north of Calgary, but I currently reside in Calgary. Aside from music, I also host an annual charity event called Ride to Remember in support of the Alzheimer Society of Calgary. We're going to be chatting about that today and all things music and everything in between.
Yeah. So you are a country rock artist. How do you describe your sound?
I think it's kind of a combination of everything I grew up listening to, like brought together into one. Growing up in a small town, my mom listened to a lot of 80s like hair metal and hard rock. My dad listened to a lot of southern rock and blues. But I'm in this tiny little town with a pro rodeo and farm parties. So you're like surrounded by, country small town lifestyle. And when you do all those things, you're surrounded by country music. So even though country music wasn't really in my house growing up, it was like part of my life. And I started writing songs when I was like 14, and I was always writing stories. I always liked a song that took the listener on a journey, but it was always kind of mixed with this like southern rock music. And then a little bit later, I really dove into country music and realized that all these songs that I've been writing were just like country tunes, but I didn't even really realize it. So I'd say it's, southern rock, blues, all that mixed with, the emotional journey that a country song takes you on.
You really have the look, I got to say. Like if someone asked me what you did, I'd be like, maybe like a country rock artist.
Yeah. Well, perfect.
Was this planned? Did you develop this over time, or were you like this always?
I think I was always like this to an extent. I think that when the whole world stopped for a second and, we couldn't get haircuts and couldn't do all those things, the look developed a little bit more.
Nice.
And here it is. I think it's been a constant evolution and progression. I think I always wanted to have long hair, and then I just never gave myself the opportunity to grow it out. And then when faced with...
It's awesome. I love it.
Well, thanks. Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Do you have a moment or like a turning point in your career that really stands out?
I think one of the big turning points was in 2018. I quit my job in Innisfail and moved to Calgary to pursue music full time. I'd been working up to try and get enough gigs to pay for rent and pay for all those things. And I think moving to Calgary, diving in head first, no backup, nothing like that, just figuring out how to make it work. That was like the first big turning point of like fully committing to everything. And I think there's been like exciting moments and turning points since then, but I think that's the start of the book kind of thing.
So you're a part-time musician, or were you just full-time at that moment?
Full-time at that moment. So I had moved to Calgary when I was 17 to go to college, did 2 years in school. And when I finished that, went back home to Innisfail and was like, I'm going to pursue music full-time. And my mom and dad were like, that's great, but you still have bills to pay, still got to pay rent, you still got to do all these things. So how are you going to make it work? So I worked at Napa Auto Parts in Innisfail, where I'd worked all through high school for about a year and a half until I had enough gigs to then think that I could quit that job and fully support myself with music.
Are you still building a motorbike right now?
I am.
Nice. How's that going?
It's good. It has been slower than I had hoped. It's a big work in progress. Lots of little things.
I don't know anything about that kind of thing, but I watch. It's like ASMR or something. I'm watching it. I don't know.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm excited to share more about it. It's kind of in the final go together stage. We have a few more things to mock up and, test fit and work on, but it's getting there.
So you're here to talk about Ride to Remember.
Yeah.
You founded it?
I did.
Okay. So tell everyone what that is.
Ride to Remember is a charity event that I created in support of the Alzheimer Society of Calgary. In 2019, I kind of had the opportunity to support a charity or put a charity event together. And I wanted to bring everything that was kind of my childhood together in one. My dad had a custom motorcycle shop, so I grew up spending a lot of time in there working with him in the shop. My mom is a continuing care nurse who worked in a long-term care facility, and they have a lot of Alzheimer's patients in there. And I grew up with some family members who have Alzheimer's. So when I was about 7 years old, I'd spent all this time with my dad in the shop, knew what he did for work, knew what the day-to-day looked like. And then I asked my mom, like, what do you do at work? Because I'm curious. I know what dad does, but what do you do? And So she said I could come in and volunteer one day. So when I was 7, I started volunteering with Alberta Health Services and went in and, played cards or played chess with the residents kind of thing. And when I was about 14, I started bringing in my guitar and playing music for the residents. And I remember there was a couple of residents there that were very late stage Alzheimer's and dementia, virtually non-responsive to most things that were happening around them. And I played an old Elvis tune and an old Johnny Cash tune, and their faces lit up. They started clapping, they started singing along, and to see the impact that music had on them and how it could transport them back to this moment in their life where all of a sudden they were there and it was clear and they knew what was going on. Pretty impactful on a 14-year-old kid, and it still hits me today when I see things like that happen. So when I had the chance to put Ride to Remember together, I was like, let's bring all that together into one, which is performing music, working for the Alzheimer Society of Calgary, and motorcycles. So it's a motorcycle-inspired themed event with a ride, a concert, and then raising awareness and funds for the Alzheimer Society of Calgary.
That's awesome. I love when people do good things with what they're given, instead of just trying to get money out of people.
Yeah. Well, I feel like as an artist, we ask and ask and ask for people like, can you buy tickets to my show? Can you stream my song? Can you buy my merch? Can you do all these things? I feel like it's kind of our obligation to give back to the community. Like, these are the people that have helped us get to where we are. The least we can do is try and give back to the community.
How have you seen the event change in it's 6th year, right?
6th year this year.
How has it changed over time?
It's changed every year, actually, quite drastically. We've never done the same event twice, which has been really cool. It's always been a different format, different location, different setup, different artists. And year 1 was at Ill-Fated Customs here in Calgary, which is a motorcycle shop. We did an outside full band party kind of thing. We had myself, Mariah Stokes, and Brad Saunders play. We did a motorcycle ride and show and shine, and we had about 50 bikes show up for the ride. And it was my first year planning and organizing an event like that, so it was quite overwhelming. We raised $1,500 for the Alzheimer Society of Calgary. Next year was 2020. Obviously, things were a little bit different. We transitioned and did a online virtual event and did a songwriter round in the back of Ill-Fated Customs with myself, Mariah Stokes again, Annika, and Bobby Wills. We filmed and live streamed the whole event. We raised just over $3,000 for the Alzheimer Society of Calgary. 3rd annual event, back in person, but again, very small. Only a limited amount of people were able to come. So we did a dinner party and a songwriter round with myself, Mariah Stokes, Tanya Ryan, and Drew Gregory. And in the 3rd annual event, we raised just over $7,000. So we'd kind of been doubling it every year, which was really cool. From the 4th annual event, a few more people wanted to get on board and kind of help support the event, had seen what it was doing over the last 3 years. And that's when Craig Senek, our presenting sponsor, came on board. We moved the event to Weber Academy and did it as a part of Stampede City Sessions for a live broadcast on PBS. It was myself and Corey Marks. We had about 300 people in the theater. And at the 4th annual event, we had a goal to raise $15,000 for the Alzheimer Society, and we raised just over $40,000.
Wow.
And so then for the 5th annual event, we're like, if we did 40 for the 4th, we got to try and do 50 for the 5th.
Yeah.
So we moved it to the Palace Theater, downtown Calgary. Myself, Mariah Stokes, and JJ Shiplet put on the concert, and we had an unbelievable amount of support from the community, lots of silent auction items, lots of people donating, and we raised just over $50,000 for the Alzheimer Society of Calgary. Now here we are at the 6th annual event. It's going to be September 21st at the National Music Center. Myself, Lindsay L., Carolyn Don Johnson, and Mariah Stokes. Songwriter round format, and we're hoping to raise $60,000 for the 6th annual.
Let's do it. Everybody, let's do it. What is a writer's round for people who don't know? How is it different from just a regular show?
It's a really cool format to have a show in because everyone, it's like we're sitting around in the kitchen telling stories, sharing what inspired the song. And a lot of times when you play like a full band, big party show, you don't get to play kind of the B-side, more emotional, more storytelling songs because you're trying to keep the crowd going, keep the party going. So in a writer's round, we get to play some of those more intimate songs, tell the stories behind them, share that with the audience. And it's basically just like a big conversation between us and the audience.
Sounds like it's going to be awesome.
It's
I
fun.
can't wait. I have tickets. Everyone should get tickets.
There's still some left.
I'm going to link them. Don't worry. So overall, you've raised over 100,000.
Yes.
How have you seen that impact the community?
It's been really cool. The Alzheimer Society of Calgary, they're a not-for-profit organization, and the funding that they're receiving from the government has gone down every single year, and the demand for need of their resources has gone up. Last year for the event, with the money that we raised, we were able to keep their 5-day-a-week phone line going for support for caregivers or people who are having a stressful time trying to navigate situations at home. They have a phone line that you can call 5 days a week and talk to someone and get support. So the money that we raised was able to keep that phone line open.
That's awesome. What's the earliest example you have of seeing Alzheimer's close up?
When I was growing up, I was really close with my great-grandpa, and he had Alzheimer's, and he passed away when I was about 12 years old, I believe. But from the time I was, 2 years old to 12 years old, we hung out lots, spent a lot of time together, and his Alzheimer's progressed throughout that time before he passed away. But I think Alzheimer's is a really scary thing if you've never been exposed to it or understanding kind of what's happening. So I think in a way I was almost really fortunate to be able to get to have a relationship with him as he was going through life with Alzheimer's, because it gave me a better understanding and realized that it's not that scary. They're still the same person. They're still there. They're just not always right here with us.
Yeah, it's scary. I've had some family members from both sides of it. It must be scary from both sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
But so you have a lot of experience with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's really good that you put this together. When did you decide to start a Ride to Remember?
I was a part of artist development program in 2019 called Project Wild. And one of the criteria that we had to fulfill throughout the program was either supporting a charity or creating a charity event or being involved in some sort of capacity. And so that's when I decided to create Ride to Remember, which was, like I said, bringing everything together that was my childhood into one. So it was really started as a part of this program, but because it was something that was so personal to me, I wanted to create an event and support something that I could continue to support throughout the rest of my life.
Yeah. So when you created it, you thought it would be a long-term thing?
Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to find a way to continue to give back to the community that has supported me so much.
And in Ride to Remember, do you have a story that you tell people of something that's happened through that or someone you've met through that?
I still think the biggest impact that I've had is when I was at my mom's continuing care facility and seeing those people come alive and be transported back to their childhood or their youth or wherever that song took them in life, getting to play those old songs and see them come to life and clap and sing along and get out of where they currently are.
And now you're helping that happen to so many more people. I guess.
And as a part of the event every year, I do a little bit of a tour of continuing care facilities around central Alberta. So I still go back and play at that continuing care facility where my mom works and play for the residents there, usually once or twice a year. And then the Alzheimer Society of Calgary has a program called Club 36 that's a day program for caregivers to take their loved ones to that have Alzheimer's. And I've stopped into those locations and performed for those folks a few times as well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. What happens off stage, not just the performing part of it, but I guess that anything else?
I think it's a lot of conversations with people. Like I said, Alzheimer's is a scary thing, especially when you don't understand it. And there's been so many times people have come to the event and shared that their loved ones have Alzheimer's and, they're struggling with how to navigate that. And having the Alzheimer Society of Calgary on site is great that they're able to connect with them and find those resources, but also just being able to share little things like put their favorite records on and smells and sounds are the biggest thing. So it's like, if they love cookies, bake some cookies and have them smell that. And, those little things are really cool to be able to share with people that don't know that, because it's not an overwhelming task to put on a favorite record.
I'll link something below. You probably have a website that people can get more information on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I'm going to cut to a quick break.
Okay.
And then when we come back, we're going to talk more about your music career.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be back. Hey everyone, if you're new to the show, please subscribe on YouTube. Lots of listeners on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. Keep subscribing there. Share it with someone. If you think it's a cool concept, share it with your friends. We want to keep it going. So yeah, thanks so much. Stay tuned for more Deets. Should we save this for the podcast?
We can.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to come back from break then.
Okay.
Okay. And we're back. We were talking about over break, the event you did the other day. What was it?
It was called Work in Progress as a part of Design Week Calgary.
Yeah. And tell me about it.
It was really cool. It was a bunch of architecture firms and a bunch of architects having their initial renderings and designs on display. So a lot of the stuff that like the public doesn't get to see, you know, like the cardboard cutouts of art installations that they're mocking up, or like the popsicle stick cardboard buildings and things that like are the initial renderings before it's on a computer, before you've done this big mock-up. Like it could be, this is how it looks 10 years before the building's actually going to get built. And it was really cool to see how their creative process starts and the different materials that they use to create all of these different items, whether it was sketches or actual like clay models or cardboard cutouts, like I was saying. And there was a songwriter round that was attached to it. So part of our job in the songwriters round was to explain our creative process and how we start at the beginning and how our work in progress goes.
Yeah. So is it interesting seeing the different process for all the other artists too?
It is, yeah. Everyone has such a different creative process in the way that they approach things. I know for me, I love writing with other people. So I'll come up with ideas, I'll come up with guitar licks and all that kind of stuff. But I almost never finish an idea by myself. I always take it into the room with people that I trust and like writing with. And together, we then bring the vision to life.
Do you ever have conversations like that with other people in other creative industries, like a painter or some kind of artist or actor or things like that?
I think less than I would like to. I think this event gave me a new perspective on how other creatives work. And it was actually pretty inspiring to see, because it's like day in and day out, I'm involved in my creative process. And, you know, you go through the motions of that, but then to see how someone else in a totally different medium brings their life to work and how it starts out is super inspiring.
How has collaborating with people changed how you write or perform?
I think collaborating with people is everything. I think for me specifically, like I have a really great band that I am very fortunate to work with, and we get to bring ideas together to create the live show, and we get to bounce ideas off each other. And same as in the writing room, it's I can bring in an idea, but then we get to share our collective experiences together to support this idea. And, you know, I may have a great idea or someone else may have a great idea, but they may not have something in their life that's happened that they can dig into to support that idea. So by bringing everyone together, we can all pull from our collective experiences.
How much do you pull in when you, let's say, attend a concert or listen to a song you've never heard? Do you bring that into your process too?
Yeah, I think that especially going to a concert, it's interesting to try and enjoy the show and not overanalyze it, because I find that when I go to shows lots, especially if I'm in like a creative mode, I'm analyzing what they're doing, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, being overly critical of everything for myself of like, how is this reflecting on what I'm doing? And am I enjoying this or am I not enjoying it? Or what would I do different? So it takes a lot to try and disconnect almost and just enjoy a show. But I know when I'm listening to music, I'm always listening to how they approach things and the production choices that they made, or how they set a line and how they flip these words to make it work. I think that's kind of always running in the back of my head.
What kind of inspirations do you have? And are some of them in very different genres?
Yeah, I would say like I'm very much in like the country, blues, southern rock world, but to me, like nothing beats a great pop melody, like a super catchy melody, big chorus that you're going to remember. So it's like trying to bring in those ideas into this more organic, texture-based music
Yeah.
I think that's one thing for me is I love big choruses, love hooky melodies, and it's kind of trying to blend those two things together.
Do you have a moment where you took kind of the biggest creative leap, something that changed your music style?
I think one of the things that I've been super fortunate to be able to do is I have really great producers that I work with, and we're never trying to chase a sound or never trying to keep up with what the Joneses are doing. And they've been really adamant on like, let's make what we want to make and not try and chase things or try and tick this box or make this person happy in the music. And I think that, you know, there might be faults to that in not trying to chase certain things. But I think at the end of the day, I can always stand behind the art that I make.
It's authentic, yeah.
And I never feel like I'm trying to please everyone. And like, the goal is either someone loves it or hates it. Because if they hate it, they're going to tell everyone they hate it. If they love it, they're going to tell everyone they love it. If it's just in the middle and it's kind of like, whatever.
Did you put a new album out, or was it just that song that came out?
Just the song came out now. My record came out in September of last year. So I
Yeah.
had a 22-song record come out
Yeah,
in September. So this was kind of like the single of the summer where we're still touring the record, still playing all those
This
songs
one's
live.
from that record?
No, this one is standalone off
okay.
the record. And it's kind of like a little new nugget where it's like, hey, new single. Lots of fun to play this
Seems
summer.
like a bit of a different sound.
Yeah, it kind of touches on a couple of the songs sonically that were on the record. I feel like it's in a similar vein to Underdog and potentially Wanted Man, where it's kind of like that 80s. We were going for like an 80s anthemic, Bryan Adams, Tom Petty kind of vibe feel with it. Those are big shoes to fill, big comparisons to make, but that's where the inspiration came from.
My question is there a song in your catalog that feels especially kind of relevant to your life right now?
I think that this is going to sound like a cop-out answer, but I feel like Memories That Made Us is really cool because I feel like I'm looking back on the past decade of my life of everything I've gone through and where I've come, and it's kind of the icing on the cake to that chapter as I move into the new part of life.
Can you send me a clip that I can put in?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right here. Wait, that's really close to the commercial. I'm going to put it in right here.
Okay.
I'm going to show the clip right now.
Learned how to throw a punch and take 1, 2. How to sneak in quiet when you miss curfew. How to work hard, how to fix your first car. How to bounce back after a broken heart. Making plans, making mistakes, making the most out of that summer break. Hell, we were just making it up, didn't know it at the time, but we were making the memories that made us. Yeah, the memories that shaped us, the memories that changed us, the ones that would take us from who we were to what we became. 'Cause
Wow, that was great. That's why it's stuck in my head. Everyone gets it now.
Perfect.
What do you have coming up other than A Ride to Remember?
Working on lots of new music. Heavy writing season right now, writing lots of stuff. Headed out to PEI at the end of August, actually, when's this going to air? Because then...
This is going to air September 15th.
All right, then I just got back from PEI from a big writing trip, and we were out there for 4 days, writing a couple times a day.
Nice.
And I'll be back in Nashville later this year as well, writing. And so huge creative season, lots of writing, picking through songs, figuring out what the next record's going to look like, as well as some new music is ready to go as well.
What does that look like? Like, how long are you working with different people? How long are you in the room together? How does that process go?
Writes are usually, actually it depends. Everything is different, but I would say typically like you get together, shoot the shit for like 45 minutes, get a hang going, and then you start throwing around ideas. If nothing has come up, even in that hang, a lot of times what we end up writing will just be something that someone mentioned while we're just catching up.
Are you all sitting around with instruments?
Yeah, sometimes they're out, sometimes they're not. Sometimes we're just like having a coffee, catching up, seeing how everyone's life is, what's going on.
Yeah.
And lot of times we'll like share some of the other stuff that we're working on as well, being like, oh, what are you working on these days? And share a few ideas. And then usually it's like 2 or 3 hours and we've written a song.
Nice.
And end up with a little work tape. Just throw your iPhone down and record a voice memo. And
do you ever come up with a song with a group of people and then you don't know who that song's going to be for?
Yes and no. I feel like a lot of times when we're writing, it's kind of determined who we're writing for when we go into it. That's not always the case though. A couple songs on Mariah's record, actually, we had originally wrote with me in mind. And as she was going through songs for her record, she's like, nope, that's mine. It's going to be on my record, which is totally fine.
So you're usually writing for someone like with that voice in mind.
Yeah.
And then if it changes, you make kind of a couple adjustments.
Yeah, you can make adjustments and tweaks to
like gender.
Exactly.
Something like
yeah,
that.
adjust the pronouns, adjust the story, adjust all that kind of stuff. So I know for the 2 songs, or actually 3 songs that are on Mariah's record that were originally written with me in mind, she went through them, kind of flipped them around a little bit to make more sense for her story.
How do you decide what you're going to wear?
How do I decide what I'm going to wear?
Yeah, you have all these like cool band shirts every time I see you in this.
I do.
Getup.
Well, this one is a new shirt because I just got back from the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally in South Dakota. So this one is a fresh wash.
Nice.
Brand new. But I think the biggest thing is I usually try and wear something different than I wore the time before.
Okay.
And that's kind of the only rhyme or reason I have.
Do your fans, do you call them Mini Coopers?
No, but that's a great idea. It's funny that you say that. I was, working with my friend ChatGPT this morning on trying to come up with a few different names for some other things that I'm working on. And I was trying to figure out how to incorporate fans into what I'm doing. And it had given me ideas like, the Cooper crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, it's not a great idea. And then what was the other one? Cooper Natural.
Okay.
Instead of Supernatural.
That's pretty good. Usually it's not that good at creative stuff.
No.
It's good at a lot of tasks, but I like Mini Coopers.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the Mini Coopers out there.
I love it.
Let's we have surprises for each other.
We do.
Let's make it happen.
Okay.
What's your surprise? Do you want to go first?
Sure. I can go first. I know you always have coffee here.
Yeah.
So I figured you should have a couple cup holders.
There you go. Devin Cooper. Is this leather?
It is.
Nice.
They're handmade in BC.
Showing the camera. That's awesome. That's good because people with their rings on here.
Yeah.
I have kind of 2 presents for you.
Okay.
One is for you.
Okay.
And one, I figured it's the same thing, but I think we could maybe you sign it and we auction it for your charity.
Okay, cool.
If anyone wants to bid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
On the theme of your shirts.
Yeah.
Okay. Here you go. One for you. One for some lucky winner.
Oh, man.
I'm going to show the camera.
That's so cool.
There we go. And the camera should be looking at this now. But yeah, I think we sign one of those.
Yeah.
And I make a reel out of this and we get some bidding started.
That is beyond cool.
I have a silver and gold marker. I don't know. Do you want to auction it off?
Yeah, I think gold.
Not to take away from your merch. Because let's also go to your merch store and buy some of that. But this will be for your charity.
I love that. Thank you so much.
We'll sign it after. Maybe,
yeah.
So it's not awkward getting up and everything.
Yeah,
but
that's so cool.
What do you think of the Deets shirt?
I love it. You made me look pretty jacked too, which I like.
It's supposed to be like one of the, one of those shirts, like an 80s rock shirt.
That's so cool. Thank you very much.
No problem.
I've had people make me little signs and things like that, but this is over the top. Thank you.
Well, it's for your charity, but then I actually was going to make just one and for your charity, but I wanted you to have one.
Yeah.
Because
that's so cool.
I've been laughing at this for a week. I just can't believe it. It came together really well. It's really well made too.
It's so good. Thank you.
So
try to set it up beside me on the.
Yeah. Awesome. I didn't know if I should get a shirt or a tank top, but there you go.
I love it.
I love it too. I'm going to use it as the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about your music more?
Yeah.
Because I have a lot of questions now kind of building to the end of the show.
Okay.
But we kind of skipped over you. We talked about you, but not Not everything. How's it going?
It's good. I feel like it's a long, steady growth. I want to do this for my whole life. This is what I'm going to do forever. So it's constant growth, constant evolution, constant work in progress.
Have you really been feeling it build and like hitting all the milestones and everything? And how does that feel every time you hit a new one?
It's good. I feel like, yeah, there's been a lot of big milestones in the last couple of years. And it's interesting. One thing that I'm learning is to acknowledge those. For a long time, and still, even if I, check that box for myself and complete that milestone, it's almost instantly, well, what's next?
Yeah.
What's next? What's
get
next?
that.
Instead of, man, I did that. Like, take a second, acknowledge it, because it's going to make the next things that much more exciting.
Yeah.
And if you don't acknowledge it, then you kind of lose the excitement in it all, because you're just chasing the next thing instead of, acknowledging your win.
It's good that you realize that now because, yeah, you need to take it in.
Yeah.
And when you don't appreciate it, it's just kind of stressful to always be thinking about the next thing.
Totally. And I feel like I'm doing a disservice to everybody who's supporting me if I don't acknowledge it, because I couldn't do this on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't achieve these milestones and keep doing these things and expanding and growing and playing across the country if people weren't showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't acknowledge that, it's like, it is a disservice to everybody who's supporting me, because none of it is possible without them.
Do you take time off?
Not really. Like I said, I went to the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally, was down there for 5 or 6 days, but played Big Valley Jamboree, got home at like 3 a.m, 8 a.m, was on the road to go down there. And then, every day was working on my laptop every morning, getting stuff done in the campsite, working on things. And
I want to make a video with you. I'll use my camera.
Okay.
You on the motorbike
Okay.
with the 360 camera.
Oh, yeah.
I think we can make a good reel.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I would love that.
We'll set it up
Okay.
sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know. When's the season over? It's like,
Yeah,
Who knows?
end of September. I mean,
Yeah.
it can go late in Alberta. Like
Mhm.
sometimes you can still be riding in October, but it gets chilly.
do you live in Calgary now? Or
I do live in Calgary,
okay.
yeah.
So that's easier.
Yeah, totally. My bike is not here because I
Okay.
don't have a garage.
Okay.
So I keep all my bikes and stuff like that at my folks' place just outside of Olds.
Okay.
So it's only like 45 or 50 minutes,
Yeah.
which is not too bad to get there. So
We'll figure something out.
yeah, I'll go drive up, grab my bike, and I can ride back down. We can meet somewhere in the country, get a cool
Okay.
country
Yeah.
360.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So let's tell people. Actually, first of all, if someone can't attend a
Yeah.
Ride to Remember, how else can they support?
We have a Canada Helps donation link set up where all proceeds go directly to the Alzheimer Society of Calgary. So you can go on to the ticket link or my website. There's links to the donations as well as tickets. And like I said, we're trying to raise $60,000 for the Alzheimer Society. We've already raised a few $1,000s and we just launched the event last week. So the support has been unbelievable already. And, whether you got $10 or, last year we had someone donate $20,000.
It's amazing.
Every single little bit helps, and we appreciate all of it.
I'll link everything. I'll make a reel out of this. We'll get those numbers up.
Amazing.
I'll help how I can. So as the founder and performer, when the night is over, what does success feel like?
Success feels like making an impact, feeling like people came to the event, they learned something, they know that they supported a good cause, and they walk out of there knowing that there's resources available and they feel like they contributed to the community that they live in.
Is there anything about the event that we haven't covered?
We have a lot of great silent auction items that are donated by people in the community. So we're also open to receiving silent auction items. So if there's a local business that is watching this that wants to donate something or be involved in the event, they can just email us and we'd love to have you be involved in any way.
So where's the best place to follow you and your music? Let's go through that first and then a Ride to Remember after that.
Yeah, you can follow me on my website at devincoopermusic.com. All my socials and streaming platforms and everything are linked in there. Instagram is Devin Cooper Music. Facebook is Devin Cooper Music. Twitter is Devin Cooper Live. And TikTok is Devin Cooper Music again.
Nice. Was Devin Cooper music taken on Twitter?
No, Twitter, you can only have, I think it's like 15 characters, and music is one letter too long if I have Devin Cooper music. So it was going to either be Devin Cooper music or Devin Cooper live.
Yeah. Okay. And you can buy these coasters on the website.
You can. They're $5 a piece.
$5. That's
or
a steal.
$15 for a 4-pack, and you get one free. And until Ride to Remember, all of the merch items are on sale on my website, as well as every order over $25, I'm donating $5 to the Alzheimer Society. So not only is everything on sale, you also are making a donation to the Alzheimer Society when you buy something.
Awesome. And then how do people look up the Ride to Remember event?
They can find everything on Instagram at Ride to Remember YYC, as well as everything is on my Instagram and Facebook and all of those pages as well. You can head to my website, devincoopermusic.com/ride to remember. And there's all the information on this year's event, as well as the past 5 years events. We have little recaps on there of everything that's been happening.
Nice. Do you have people you want to thank for helping with the event?
There's so many people. I could not do the event on my own. Craig Seneck Initiatives, our presenting sponsor. The event would not be possible without him. Megan McKay has been handling all of the logistics and sponsorships and all of that. I could not do any of it without her. She's been such a huge help over the last few years. And now my management team, Penelope, is on board, as well as Penelope PR, doing all of the media and interviews and all of that. And then Stampede Entertainment this year came on board, helped us book all of the artists, get the venue secured. I could honestly go on forever and ever, the people I want to thank.
Yeah.
But Stampede Entertainment, Craig Seneck Initiatives, Megan McKay, and Penelope.
If you kept going, I have a button that just starts playing music.
Perfect.
It's actually Memories That Made Us, though.
Is it?
It'll play you off. No, I don't have a button. I do have a button. I'd let you go forever, though. Anything else you want to talk about?
I think we covered everything. We checked all the boxes.
Yeah, it was good. I'm excited for the show, and I'm excited. I hope let's get someone bidding on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to help as any way I can.
How much do you think we can get for it? Should we set a goal?
I don't know. Let's see if the Mini Coopers come through on this one. What would be a goal? I don't even know what.
I think we can get.
It's a 1 of 2 shirt.
1 of 2.
And
we could number it 1 of 2 as well.
Yeah, it's the one. You only have the backup one, really.
Yeah, that's right. I think we can get at least $500 out of it.
I was going to say 500 too.
Yeah.
Let's start it at 100.
100.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay. Awesome. So thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
And, you're welcome back anytime. If you have something,
Appreciate
show
that.
going on. Okay. I take these off and it ends.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.